What if the very reason your manifestation has not yet arrived is because you spoke too soon? What if the delay wasn't divine, but personal? What if, by simply telling someone your dream, your desire, your intention, you unintentionally invited resistance instead of reinforcement? Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Do not talk about a demonstration until it is manifested." And she meant it, because what is spoken too soon becomes vulnerable to the winds of doubt. And doubt, my friend, is spiritual sabotage. You see, every desire you hold is a seed. And that seed is sacred. You are the soil, your mind is the garden, your words are the water, and your faith is the sun. But if you dig up the seed before it's ready, if you show it off to others too soon, asking, "Do you think it's growing?" you weaken the roots. You expose the energy to interference. And not everyone can handle your dream. Not everyone is aligned to your miracle. Not everyone deserves access to your sacred vision. And so I say this to you, with love but with power: write it down and hide it. Not because it is shameful, but because it is sacred. Write this phrase with full intention and heart-centered clarity. I am now receiving mu. Insert your desire in divine timing. Let it be specific. Let it be bold. Let it be personal. Let it be felt. And as you write it, let the energy of gratitude fill you. Not the grasping energy, "I hope this works," but the rooted energy of, "This is already mine in the mind of God." Because what you write in faith becomes a contract with the universe, and what you keep in sacred silence becomes protected by divine law. Do not tell everyone. Do not announce it before it blossoms. Do not open the vault before the treasure arrives. There is power in privacy. There is movement in mystery. There is magic in the unseen. This is not hiding out of fear. This is shielding out of wisdom. You are not being secretive. You are being spiritually strategic. And that is what Florence taught over and over again. The seed must stay underground until the sprout is strong. And your desire, your goal, your manifestation, it is the seed. So protect it, guard it. Don't let other people's projections pollute your promise. Don't let their realism uproot your revelation. Don't let their doubt become your delay. And so I say again, write this. I am now receiving your desire in divine timing. And then hide it. Place it under your pillow. Place it in your journal. Place it inside a vision box. Fold it up and put it behind a mirror. Or tuck it in the back of a drawer only you open. Wherever you place it, let it be holy. Let it be quiet. Let it be yours. You don't need to speak about it. You need to vibrate with it. You don't need to prove it. You need to protect it. You don't need their belief. You need your own alignment. And every morning return to it silently. Touch it. Glance at it. Whisper it in your spirit. I am now receiving. Not, I will. Not, I hope to. Not, if it's meant to be. But now, present tense. Because in the mind of God, it is already done. In the vibration of truth, it is already here. In the realm of spirit, your name is already on the blessing. You are not asking for a miracle. You are aligning with it. You are not begging the universe. You are agreeing with it. But remember this: the more energy you leak by explaining yourself, the less energy you hold for manifestation. Silence is your shield. That's why Florence said, your word is your wand, but silence is your shield. And the silence she spoke of wasn't passive. It was powerful. It was sacred space. It was spiritual focus. It was the fertile field where the word could work without disturbance. So now we begin this journey, together, of sacred writing and spiritual hiding. Not from fear, from shame, but from power. And we will loop this again and again, because repetition is how truth takes root. Write it down, honor it, activate it, speak it silently, guard it faithfully, and prepare for it joyfully. For the desire you hide with reverence is the desire that will rise in reality. You are not invisible. You are incubating. You are not being quiet. You are cultivating, and soon the bloom will speak for itself. But until then, let the silence carry your word into form. Now that you have written it and hidden it, let's talk about why this act is so profoundly spiritual. Why it matters more than you know. Because what you have just done, whether it feels simple or symbolic, is an act of powerful faith, focus, and spiritual protection. You see, there are laws unseen, spiritual codes that govern the unfolding of a desire. And one of the most sacred laws is the law of silence. The law that says protect what is forming. Guard what is growing. Honor what is becoming. For what is still in the womb of creation is vulnerable to the outside world. You must let it build its spiritual bones before it sees the light of the physical. And that is why Florence Scovel Shinn said so clearly, do not talk about a demonstration until it is manifested. Because she knew the moment you speak it too soon, you risk more than mere distraction. You risk energetic disturbance. You risk placing your seed in a crowd of doubt. You risk watering your desire with the wrong voices. You risk trading your faith for their fears. Because the truth is, not everyone is aligned with your vision. Not everyone can see what you see. And often, even the people who love you, yes, even the ones with good intentions, can't help but speak limitation, question the timing, or offer advice rooted in their own trauma. And when you allow their words to enter your field, you give them energetic permission to influence your creation. Every time you explain your desire to someone who does not vibrate at the frequency of faith, you subtly lower your own. Every time you seek validation before your miracle has fully formed, you send a signal to the universe that you are unsure, and the universe always responds to the energy of certainty. So I ask you, soul to soul, spirit to spiriting, are you protecting your desire, or are you performing it? Are you holding it like a sacred prayer, or are you advertising it like a fragile wish? Are you planting it in silence, or are you scattering it in conversation hoping someone will approve? Because here is the truth. Your manifestation does not need applause. It does not need agreement. It does not need social proof. What it needs is energetic authority. It needs emotional agreement. It needs silent certainty. It needs you. You, aligned. You, quiet. You, focused. You believing not because someone else believes, but because you know. This is why writing it down and hiding it is not just a ritual. It is a declaration. It says, I trust the process. I trust divine timing. I trust the invisible realm. I do not need to announce what I have already received in spirit. And you must be vigilant now, because your ego will want to speak. Your ego will want to prove something. Your ego will say, tell them what you're manifesting, show them your vision board, announce it to the world, post it, share it, broadcast it. But your soul knows better. Your soul whispers, not yet. Let it root first. Let it strengthen. Let it settle in the unseen, so that when it arrives, it is undeniable. You see, when a tree begins to grow, it does not shout, it roots. And the deeper the roots, the stronger the rise, the more silent the seed, the louder the harvest. So loop this with me now. Whisper it with your inner voicing. What is sacred must first be secret. Again, what is sacred must first be secret. One more time. What is sacred must first be secret. Because in silence, there is strength. In stillness, there is alignment. In privacy, there is power. And you are powerful when you don't seek permission to believe. You are magnetic when you don't dilute your desire for the comfort of others. You are in spiritual dominion when you choose to protect the vibration of your word over the validation of your world. And so we return to the practicing. You have written your phrase. I am now receiving mu. Insert your desire in divine timing. Now I hope to. Not if it's meant to be. But, I am now. That one phrase, written with faith and hidden with reverence, is the vibrational signature of your future. It is the container. The channel. It tells the universe, oh, I am ready. It tells your subconscious. It is safe to believe. It tells God, I trust you. And now that you've hidden it, you must let it grow. You must not obsess. You must not worry. You must not ask when or how. You must not revisit it with anxious fingers. Your only job is to return to it with calm energy. Each day, not with grasping, but with gratitude. Whisper to yourself when no one is watching, thank you. It is unfolding. When doubt knocks, answer not with explanation, but with silence. When fear rises, do not fight. Simply remember. When others ask what you're working on, you smile and say, you'll see soon. Because your silence is not nothing, it is nurturing. Your silence is not avoidance. It is alignment. Your silence is not fear. It is faith in action. This is the art of spiritual maturity. This is the discipline of divine manifestation. This is where so many fail. Not because they didn't want it enough, but because they didn't guard it enough. They leaked it. They explained it. They justified it. They doubted it. And they allowed the fragile flower to be stepped on before it bloomed. But you will not do that. You are the one who writes it, hides it, and protects it. You are the one who waters it in silence and reaps it in public. You are the one who lives in the frequency of, it is done. You are the one who lets faith do the talking, because the energy of your belief speaks louder than words ever could. So return to this loop. What is sacred must first be secret. What is sacred must first be secret. What is sacred must first be secret. That is your spiritual technology. That is your alignment. That is your shield. And as we continue forward in this journey, we will go deeper. Not just into how to manifest, but how to protect what you manifest. Because in the coming moments, you will feel the urge to share. You will feel the temptation to announce. But I will remind you, Florence will remind you, Spirit will remind you your word is your wand. But your silence is your shield. There is something so subtle, so easily missed, and yet so powerful in its effect, that it can delay even the clearest, most certain manifestation. It's the urge to explain, the desire to prove, the temptation to tell someone your dream before it's had a chance to breathe. And isn't it strange? We feel a spark of vision, a whisper from spirit, a quiet confirmation in the soul, and what's the first instinct? To run and tell someone, to post about it, to say, guess what I'm working on. We want to share, we want to be seen, we want to hear someone say, that's amazing. But that is the very moment we must stop. That is the sacred pause. That is the divine test of spiritual restraint. Because when you feel the urge to speak about what has not fully formed, that is the ego seeking assurance, not the soul grounded in knowing. And this is where most people fail. They leak their power by explaining what the spirit hasn't finished forming. They ask people who don't vibrate at their frequency to validate something they themselves barely believe yet. And Florence Scovel Shinn was clear, crystal clear, when she said, never speak of a demonstration until it has come into visibility. Because in the realm of manifestation, silence is not absence. It is presence. It is the presence of trust. It is the presence of alignment. It is the quiet, humming, steady certainty that what is written in spirit is already written in form. And you have already written it. You have already placed it in a sacred space. And whether you've hidden it beneath your pillow, sealed it in a journal, or folded it inside a vision box, you have created something powerful. You have birthed a container for divine delivery. Now, the only thing left is to hold the frequency, to protect the atmosphere, to become the vibration of the thing you desire, without needing to announce it. And this is where it gets interesting. Because now, you're not doing it to prove something. You're not chasing the outcome. You are being the outcome. You're embodying the result. You're becoming a silent vibrational magnet, quiet on the outside, but roaring with certainty inside. You walk differently. You speak gently. You respond slowly. You exude peace. And people feel it. They feel something has shifted. But they can't quite place it. Why? Because you've gone invisible, but not in weakness. In dominion. And dominion doesn't shout. Dominion doesn't beg. Dominion doesn't plead or post or prove. Dominion rests. Dominion trusts. Dominion aligns. Dominion knows. You are no longer the person who needs to explain your plans. You are the one who lets your frequency speak for you. And Florence taught this over and over again, that your word, spoken in faith, held in silence, is a divine decree. And when you write, I am now receiving, you insert your desire in divine timing. And then hide it. You are not hoping. You are not trying. You are commanding. You are setting a spiritual law in motion. You are handing the reins to infinite intelligence and saying, it is done. Now I align. And let me ask you this. When a farmer plants a seed, does he run around asking the neighbors if it's working? No, he waters it. He tends the soil. He guards the field. And he knows, if the seed is good, and the soil is right, and the sun shines, it must grow. The same is true for you. You've planted the spiritual seed. You've written the sacred phrase. You've placed it in holy hiding. And now you must protect the energetic atmosphere. This means no frantic conversations. No checking the soil every hour. No asking the universe if it's on schedule. Begging. No bargaining. Just alignment. Just vibrational consistency. Just daily calm. And yes, the urge to talk will rise. Yes, the impulse to tell your best friend, your partner, your sister, or your coach will come. But in that moment, pause. Breathe. Smile inwardly. And remember, this is mine. This is sacred. This is not for sharing. This is still growing, because there is power in things unspoken. There is divine momentum in things unseen. And Florence knew words carry vibration, but silence carries focus. And you must choose, will you feed your vibration or will you scatter it? Will you guard your promise or dilute it with explanation? Because not all energy is supportive. Not all ears are safe. Not all questions are pure. And the energy of someone else's curiosity, even when it comes wrapped in love, can add friction to your field. Florence once said, your word is your wand. And this means the words you speak to yourself, the words you place on paper, the words you affirm silently. They become law. But the moment you begin explaining your desire to someone outside your alignment, you exchange wand for worry. And you weaken the spell. So let's circle back. You've written it down. The phrasing, I am now receiving insert your desiring in divine timing. You didn't write, I hope. You didn't write, I wish. You didn't write, maybe someday. You wrote, I am now. That phrase alone, spoken with belief, written with clarity, and hidden with reverence, is the access point to manifestation. And hiding it, that's not superstition. That's spiritual strategy. You're not hiding it from people because you fear them. You're hiding it because you revere it. You're not keeping it secret because you're unsure. You're keeping it private because you're spiritually certain. And the more you loop this awareness, the stronger the magnetic pull becomes. Say it silently as you wake. Say it in your heart before sleep. Let it echo softly in your soul throughout the day. What is sacred must first be secret. What is sacred must first be secret. What is sacred must first be secret. Because sacred things grow in stillness. Holy things bloom in quiet. And the moment you stop chasing the need to be understood is the moment you step into energetic command. The moment you stop explaining your process is the moment you finally embody the truth. You are no longer someone who hopes. You are someone who knows. And those who know do not speak. They radiate glow. They walk differently. And you, yes you, are walking into a season where your glow will do the talking. Your presence will become your proof. Your energy will announce what your lips never said. Because you followed divine law. You followed Florence's wisdom. You became the field where the seed could root. You wrote it. You hid it. You believed it. You aligned with it. And now the universe responds. And now you've come to the most sacred moment of all. The moment when you stop wondering and start knowing. You've written it. You've hidden it. You've protected the energy. And day by day, moment by moment, you've started to change. Not from force. Not from pressure. But from a deep spiritual alignment that has been quietly building inside you. And now you feel it, don't you? You're not the same person who pressed play on this video. Something in you has shifted. Something subtle but strong. Something ancient. Something true. It's the soul remembering its power. It's the spirit reclaiming its voice. It's your inner Florence waking up. That version of you that doesn't ask when, but declares now. That you who doesn't explain, doesn't prove, doesn't wait for permission. Because she already knows it is done. That version of you who says silently, I am now receiving you, insert your desire in divine timing, and believes it with the full weight of the universe behind her. That version of you who understands that silence is not hiding, it is honoring. That version of you who no longer tells the world what she's manifesting, because she is the manifestation. And Florence Scovel Shinn would say to you right now, you are your own rescue. You are your own miracle. You are your own demonstration. And she would be right. Because the moment you claim something in the spirit realm, the material realm has no choice but to follow. That's law. That's rhythm. That's truth. That's God. And when you wrote that sacred sentence, I am now receiving your desire in divine timing. You sent a wave into the unseen. You dropped a note into the sea of spirit. You whispered into the ear of the infinite. And now that wave is coming back. That note is echoing. That whisper is rising. It may not show up exactly how you expect. It may not come from the path you planned. But if you've listened to this point, if you've felt every word, if your heart has been nodding with a quiet yes, then hear me now. Soul to soul, it's already begun. You have already shifted timelines. You have already aligned with something higher. You have already stepped into divine receptivity. And here's what's coming: signs, confirmations, subtle nudges from the universe, angel numbers, strange peace, unexpected clarity, random blessings, a sudden release of doubt, dreams that feel more like memories, goosebumps that seem to come from nowhere, encounters that feel guided, and that whisper. You know the one. That whisper that says, keep going. Don't speak it, just know, because knowing is everything, and your knowing is enough. And I know the wait can be hard. I know the silence can feel lonely. I know the desire to share can rise up like a wave, but when it does, breathe. Place your hand over your heart. Return to your phrase. Return to the seed you've planted. Return to that folded paper, that sacred sentence, that holy decree, that invisible contract between you and the divine. And say, it is written. It is protected. And loop this with me now, softly, slowly, fully. It is written. It is protected. It is becoming. Again, it is written. It is protected. It is becoming. One more time, it is written. It is protected. It is becoming. Because that's what manifestation is. Not just asking. Not just hoping. But becoming. Becoming the match. Becoming the vessel. Becoming the version of you who no longer needs to force. No longer needs to convince. No longer needs to announce. Because you already know. And this knowing is the frequency that opens doors. That rearranges timelines. That calls forth miracles with no effort at all. You don't have to chase what's already yours. You don't have to explain what's already done. You don't have to fight for what's been promised. You only have to align. And alignment is built in silence. Alignment is maintained in protection. Alignment is activated by your word. Florence said, your word is your wand. But she also said, your word must be guarded. Held in reverence. Spoken only to the infinite. So here's what I want you to do. Keep that paper safe. Wherever you've hidden it. Under your pillow, tucked in your journal, sealed in a vision box. Keep it there. Visit it only when your energy is high, when your mind is clear, when your heart is in gratitude. Do not touch it in doubt. Do not handle it in fear. Only return when your vibration is stable. And if you feel tempted to share, pause. Remember this, you do not owe anyone access to your spiritual blueprint. Your dreams are not a group project. Your alignment does not need to be understood. You are walking a path only you can walk. And the quieter you walk it, the faster the road clears. Because the universe responds to certainty. And you are certain now. You've been remembered. And now the work is simply believe, align, repeat, believe, protect, align, repeat, believe, protect, align, repeat. This is your loop. This is your structure. This is your sacred rhythm. You don't need 1,000 affirmations. Just one. You don't need 100 techniques. Just truth. You don't need more proof. You need more presence. And your presence, your calm, your inner knowing, is now doing the work for you. And one day soon, not because you forced it, not because you chased it, not because you posted about it, but because you aligned with it in silence, it will arrive. Exactly what you wrote, or something better. And people will say, how did you do it? And you'll smile. And you won't need to explain. Because your energy will say it all. Because your vibration became the message. Because your faith became your frequency. And that, beloved soul, is the true power Florence wanted you to hold. So now I invite you, go quietly, live confidently, expect abundantly, because the paper is written, the desire is alive, and the divine is already moving. Now trust, now align, now receive, and repeat this final loop with me now, until it sinks into your spiriting. I am now receiving my desire in divine timing, and I trust it completely. Again, I am now receiving my desired in divine timing, and I trust it completely. And again, I am now receiving my desire in divine timing, and I trust it completely. Let this be your rhythm. Let this be your silence. Let this be your signal. And remember, your word is your wand. But your silence is your shield.